Killer Cop Inspector Joseph Ozonwanji was today dismissed by the Enugu State Police Command and subsequently arraigned at a magistrate court in the state. Attorney General of the state says proceedings have commenced to ensure that justice takes its course. Now, 555 people, that's the number, have been killed owing to mob violence over the last decade in Nigeria. Now, that's according to global human rights organization Amnesty International. Director Isa Sanusi said it is seeking collaboration with global partners to drive the campaign for justice on behalf of victims of alleged blasphemy, such as student Deborah Samuel, killed by Muslim fundamentalists in 2022. Now, over the period of the investigation, Amnesty said 57 people were killed by violent mobs. 32 were burnt alive, 2 persons buried alive, while 23 people were tortured to death.
We believe that the government has to put in place a measure to support these victims psychologically and financially as well, because some of them, their breadwinners, were taken away as a result of mob violence. Therefore, they need help, and the first institution that should consider helping them is the government, because it was the government that let them down in the first place.
Now let's bring in Director of Amnesty International Nigeria, Isa Sanusi. Good to see you, and thanks for your time. Well, a very, sour situation concerning this report. Let's start by asking if you can help give us a summary of the findings by Amnesty International.
Well, this report is a result of work that started in 2012. And it covered over a decade, and it is later found out that we have recorded 555 incidents, and we have also recorded a number of cases where no prosecution has taken place, many cases no investigation at all, and even where an attempt was made to arrest the suspected perpetrators, they end up without facing justice. And this is what the report is saying. And one of the main things that we brought out in the report is that it doesn't augur well for our society to have a situation whereby a mob, either in a market or in a motor park, can just, at the slightest provocation or incitement, they just kill somebody, put around him an old car tire, and douse it with petrol and kill the person. So there are many motivations as well, depending on how you look at it. We realize that mostly in the southern part of Nigeria, it has to do with theft or rituals or accusations of witchcraft or accusation of pickpocketing. So, but in the north, it's largely about blasphemy, where people can just easily kill somebody on the accusations of blasphemy without either investigation or even verifying. The moment people hear blasphemy, they will just take their dagger or they take their stick and just kill the person without any.
Good thing that we're discussing this, because if you look at the geography of Nigeria, it would seem that this only does happen within the northern space. So what specific failures has the Nigerian government demonstrated in protecting citizens that have been victims of such mob attacks?
Well, that's why the report squarely put the blame on the government, because we believe that the government should have a law enforcement system that people have confidence in. Many people we interviewed in the course of this research, and we asked them, what motivated you to take the law into your own hand? And they will tell you that, well, if we take this case to the police, and we did it in the past, we realized that the suspected perpetrator will be free the next day. And we realized that maybe he has money, or he has powerful people behind him, they have paid bribes, and the person is released. Therefore, people have lost confidence in the ability or the capacity of the law enforcement agencies to do their work, and that's why they take the law into their own hands. And I think this is an indictment on the part of the government.
And how can public, awareness campaign help to stem this ugly tide?
Well, that's why while launching this report today in Abuja, we brought together Islamic clerics, Christian clerics. We also brought market associations leaders. We also brought students. We also brought motor park associations leaders. We believe that these segments of the society are very important for this conversation. We know that the government has the responsibility squarely to protect lives, but people too have their own part. And we believe that if the government can do its own part, it is very easy to convince the people. And that is why we are also going to carry out massive campaign targeted at the people to tell them that you don't have the right to take the law into your own hands, and you don't have the right to take the life of anybody, no matter you have to allow due process of law to take its course. And that is why we are also telling the people that they have to be patient, they have to respect the rule of law, but at the same time, we are telling the government that rid the judiciary of corruption, which make people to believe that going to court is about having money or having influence. Getting justice is about having money and having influence. We are trying to tell the government to do the right thing, rid the judiciary of corruption, provide good welfare system for the judges not to be attracted to easily to corruption. And for the police too, they have to be empowered. They have to be paid very well. They have to be given adequate training to carry out investigations. They have to be given adequate training on managing public disturbances without resorting to killings by themselves. And these are the things that we have been telling the government to do to empower the police. And that is very important so that they can be able to carry out their responsibilities.
A fine place for us to leave it. Isa Sanusi, Director, Amnesty International in Nigeria. Many thanks for your time.
Thank you, Slim.